Hi, everyone. Welcome to DBC Live Thursday night professional development night. It's so much fun. We have Dennis in the house tonight. Welcome, Dennis.
Hi, thanks for having me.
So excited to have you. And as you all are joining in tonight, you know the rules, you know the drill. Just put your name over in the comment section. Tell us who you are, where you're from, what you do. Tell us a little bit about you. Maybe share something exciting. It is International Women's Week, I think. And so maybe share someone in your life that has inspired you. Yeah, do that. Let's do that as a starter. And I will get started. Remember, every single comment that's placed over in the comment section will be entered to win our book of the night, which is Instant Relevance by Denis Sheeran. So you get to talk to him. Hey, Dave, welcome. And you get to ask him questions. He's going to teach us some cool stuff in a minute. And also, you might be the lucky winner of a new book. So, Dennis, I would love for you to get us started and tell us a little bit about you, what you do, and what's day to day look like in your world right now.
All right. So, for all of you who are completely overwhelmed with all of the daily aspects of everyday life, we're all in this together. So, that's what life is like right now. Honestly, right now, I am excited to have been hired as full-time math faculty at Montclair State University in New Jersey. I'm teaching pre-service math teachers to go out into the field the way I hope I've taught and want people to engage with teaching math. And so it's exciting to teach them, but I'm also able to do math consulting and instructional coaching around the country and around New Jersey where I live, where I am working with existing teachers and helping them come out of this pandemic in a way that kind of leverages the positivity and the value of what they learned, but also really kind of opens the door to creative new things and creative new ways to engage kids in learning. So it's super exciting, and that takes up just all my time, which is crazy because I also have 4 kids. My oldest is going to college in the fall, so we're in that part of the world. My second is in musicals, and my third and my fourth are all over the place. So they're 18, 16, 11 and 8. And so life is a busy place here for me, but I know you feel that, and I know you're all in that same boat. So, let's just hope that we can keep rowing it together before it sinks. So that's me and what's in my world now.
Yes, it's a busy world. I will definitely say that. And I love that we are Melanie, I love that you said that your granddaughters and daughters are those women that inspire you daily. That's awesome. Dennis was just talking about having 4 kids. So so you have 4 girls. Do you have all girls?
I have girl, boy, girl. So
that's right.
And honestly, I was just going to jump in on that too, because it's strange to say this in some cases, but it actually needs to be said a little bit more, I think, in how inspirational my daughters are to me. And just an example of that is my oldest is going to college in the fall, and she's balancing what she wants to be when she grows up and all the things she wants to do. And she's an excellent musician. She's been accepted to a couple of different music schools and is wondering, is this what I want to do? What I want to be? And I've loved music my whole life. I've been a saxophone player and a singer. I got to sing at Madison Square Garden with Andrea Bocelli in December before Christmas. It was amazing. And I'm thinking about my own self, and I see her sit down at a piano and just start playing something amazing. She's sitting there playing like Claire de Lune. I'm like, I don't remember ever giving her piano lessons. Like, we didn't. She just sits and learns this stuff. And it inspired me to sit back down at my piano and try to learn some things myself and try to dig back in and play along with some songs that I like and get my skills to where I like to grow. And it's just her being herself around me, but also just being comfortable around people that can inspire just about anybody. And I think that's one of the things that's powerfully inspirational about Women Everywhere is, which is a challenge for many people and many women, especially in the world that's been created around for all of us, is to just be yourself and realize that you might be inspiring somebody who's looking over from a distance. You might not even know it.
Yes, I love that. I'm all about that. I think that is so true. And in fact, I heard about that at Cannonball Inn. Cannonball Inn at the end, those 2 little kids, they saw her make that jump and she just thought it was just like, based off the Dabbler's opinions of her. But they said, whoa, that's the best Cannonball ever. And I think it just goes to prove, which is why I put that piece in the book, is you never know who's watching. There's a lot of people out there that are watching you just do the awesome things that you do every single day, and you feel like it's normal or it's even maybe subpar. But the truth is, you're inspiring other people to take a risk, to try something new, and to, ignite their fire for their passion that they once had, and they just didn't, kind of forgot about it. And life gets busy. We talked about that. So love that. I love all the women shouting out here. It is International Women's Week. So we are just shouting out important women in our life. And we are going to dive into some awesome content tonight. I'm excited to have Denis share something that will spark our thinking, maybe help us to plan our day tomorrow, even something that we can take and use even tomorrow or next week. So that's one thing we love about these little tidbits of professional development. At the very end, stay around for announcements. We will be announcing our hook of the week, which didn't go out yesterday. I'm sorry. I just forgot about it, honestly. We have so much going on. I didn't even think about it, but we will be announcing that, and you don't want to miss that. So Denis, I'm going to let you take it away. I'm going to put your screen back up there.
All right.
And looks like we are having some. Oh, look at this. A middle school art teacher and a chemist engineer at Coke. How cool.
Wow.
All right. Kirsten needs a plan for tomorrow. I think we might be able to hook you up. We got you.
Well, we'll take it in some direction as best we can. So, all right, here's the thing. I have spent a lot of time in my own classroom. I taught high school math for 13 years, and in other classrooms, working with teachers, observing teachers. And it's interesting to see what some people consider an engaged student, right? I think some people consider a compliant student who quietly does what they're told engaged with the work and engaged with the learning. And in 99 out of 99 times, that's not engagement. The kids just trying not to get noticed, And I think one of our goals as educators is to move beyond having our kids complete material and tasks and to truly engage them as thinkers. So I'm going to share my screen really quickly. Tara, jump out if it doesn't work the right way. And I'm going to put up a couple of slides that I wanted to share. Hi, Elizabeth. I love it. A couple of slides that I use to kind of show some of the differences between things. And I'll give you some resources that go along with it afterwards if you want to use these or whatnot. But my goal really here is to spark your thinking about the attributes of what makes something engaging, because that anybody can apply to anything. So here I go, share screen, don't show tips, do the thing. Denis says the thing out loud that he's not supposed to read out loud, slideshow, boom. All right, here I am. This is a warm-up question. I love putting this out to students, to faculty when I go and do a warm-up question with them. If I have a meeting, I like to get them thinking. And I put this up here, and you're probably thinking about it as well. And rather than spend a ton of time on the problem itself, I don't give any instructions. I just walk around and I watch people working. And some people try some things. They look at it and they think, okay, I guess I'm supposed to find out the number for the triangle and the square and the circle. And they just throw some numbers in there and try to work it out. Some of them don't notice the 60 at the top until after they do that. Some of them aren't sure which direction to go in and wonder what the 60 means until finally most of them start to realize that this object in front of them is actually a mobile or some kind of balance. And they realize balance has some impact on what this is. So some people have thrown numbers in, worked it out, came up with a number that they think is right. Other people have started to notice a balance and said, if that's balance and there's a 60 at the top, then over here, that circle, square, triangle is going to be half of it. And this other double chunk is going to be the other half. So that's probably 30 and 30. And then they look at the one with 2 hanging from it and say, if that one's balanced and it looks balanced to me, then that's probably broken in half again. So I'm looking at 15 and 15. And most of us at this point as adults and even as students look at it and realize 3 things, 15, that triangle is worth 5. So by looking back and trying to filter this through, you're starting to get some excitement about this because you know where you're going. You think that's 5. Over next to it, that square must be 10. So now I have 5 and 10. I'm getting to here. So I go over to the other side. I see a triangle is 5. A square is 10. And this is where kids break it down. They throw in and they say that the circle is 45 because they forgot that they already took half of this into account and they're trying to get to 60 really quickly and they're excited and energetic and somebody's going to ridiculously mark them wrong and take a point off on this because that's not what we're supposed to do. Instead, just ask a follow-up, see if it makes sense. But really, they come back and they say, all right, now that triangle is 5, that square is 10, that circle is 15. That's going to get me to 30. They've balanced this whole thing out. So I like putting these questions up for my problem of the day, or for in a hallway where the kids could see a problem of the day and kind of take pictures of it. And the key to this is that you can walk up and look at it, and with no mathematical knowledge whatsoever, you're drawn in. You're wondering, what do I have to do to do this? I see kids taking pictures of it, writing it down really quickly because they've got to get to class. But there's a reason you're looking at this. And that reason is some of this problem's attributes, what it offers you. What it doesn't offer you is a set of instructions to follow and a lot of scaffolding of follow-up questions and specific ties to specific skills that I want you to really do. See, we have opportunities to do those things. We see problems like this, 2x minus 3 equals 7, solve for x. I'm sorry if any of this causes any trauma for anybody. That's not what I'm trying to get at. But if you look at this pretty quickly, most students who are engaging with work like this would say, oh, I get it, add 3, that's 10, divide by 2, that's 5. This requires little to no thought, no actual engaged thought. So instead, Robert Kaplinski, a math educator from California, has been working at problems like this. Instead of 2x minus 3 equals 7, put the numbers in there, 1 through 9, but you only get to put 1 in each box. And try to find the largest possible value for x. And immediately, you can't just do it. You've got to think. Something's missing. What is going on? What do I need to know? I need to realize that there's relationships here. I can throw numbers in like my mobile had, and I can just see what works. But I'm going to adjust based on what I'm thinking. Some kids think largest possible value, put in big numbers. 9x minus 8 equals 7. And they quickly realize that's not it. They start to think about what this means. Dividing by small things gets you large things. All this different stuff, and try to work it out. But it creates a need for thought and for layers of thought and for engaged thinking either at or around the level. But that engaged thinking doesn't stay solo. You start talking to people around you about what they got. What did they think? What'd you get for that triangle? How did you get that answer that you got? It's bigger than mine. And it's a natural flow of events that occurs here. And I started to realize very recently that in this type of thinking, I was seeing it more and more and more and more around me, just not in classrooms. Now, I don't know how many of you are engaged in this, and whatever you do, feel free to do what you do. But there's a lot of us who every day drop in on Wordle, right? If you've dropped in on Wordle, or if you haven't and you're just the guy waiting in the distance, feel free to drop in on it. What does it do? Well, it throws something out there with no instructions, with nothing to go on. It starts with a mystery. There's a word that I don't know. And from there, every single one of us has absolute freedom to do whatever we want. Pick a word. Pick any word we want. Pick the word people say is supposed to be the best, most powerful word for your first word. Do what you want, but from there, keep choosing. Add choice, add layers. What do I think? Am I going to use my little dictionary? Am I going to go online? Am I going to just keep trying this from scratch? Am I going to talk with a friend about it so we can bounce ideas off each other? Yeah, that's right. Conversation about it. In fact, most of us posting the Wordle score on our social media starts a conversation. Sometimes it's an interesting one of people saying, why do you keep posting this? It's annoying. And other people are like, don't tell me the answer and don't put a clue in what you posted. And, oh, I got it in 3 or you got it in 4. That's great. Good for you. Every single day, people are jumping in playing Wordle or Birdle or Nerdle, the math one, or Chordle, the one with 4, or whatever rhymes with Erdle for the day that you're doing. But they're naturally engaging. The world picked it up enough that a guy who made a game for a couple of friends to try out just sold it to the New York Times for over $1 million. It's that engaging because it offers you mystery, freedom, complete freedom to choose, and the opportunity to share and have a conversation. And the reality is, I like offering my students the opportunity to do math. And in some cases, I might give them a problem like this. I talked about math trauma a second ago. I just want you to look at this. There's not a lot of mystery here. Most of you realize this is an algebra problem, in which case there's not a lot of freedom and not a lot of choice. Most of you think instead of freedom and choice, open up the file cabinet in my brain about this topic, about the thing that my teacher taught me to do, and I should probably try to do that thing in order. And most of you at that point don't really talk about it either, not have a lot of conversations. What I really like you to notice is that they're the same problem.
That's cool.
5 triangles plus 2 squares plus a circle equals 60. A triangle plus a circle plus a square equals 4 triangles plus a square, and a triangle plus a square equals 3 triangles. One is built to engage, and the other is built to shut out and not, to be compliant, to follow steps. And if we want true, real, deep, powerful engagement, we can create them from the problems that we want and then extract student thinking into a world where they can describe their understanding to us instead of only engaging at levels that we present to them and ask for replication. And I really realize the power of engaged thinking involves mystery and freedom and choice and conversation. And it makes me wonder, how can I use those attributes on the material I teach every day, the way I teach every day, the types of centers and stations and activities and readings and math that I do every day to make a more naturally engaging process to it? Sure, the content might be engaging, but is the process whereby our students work with it engaging? So keep those things in mind. It really just did pop up to me that was something that was happening right in front of me. I'm going to stop the screen before it goes nuts into infinity. But that's what's happening right in front of me. People all over the world were engaging in something that offered them a blank slate. And all we ever offer kids is a filled table. So that's what I wanted to present to you. Now, if you liked the mobile, there are hundreds and hundreds of them at a website. If I type over here in the chat, is people going to get to see it? I'm not sure.
They may not, but I can copy and put it in there. So if you want to type it over in that chat.
Yep. That's a website called solveme.edc.org. I'll drop it in. That's there. And Robert Kaplinski's website with those other math problems is openmiddle.com. And they're sorted by grade level. But again, it's not just about math problems. I love math. I taught math forever and I'm teaching it now, but it's really more about those attributes, those things, those ways that we describe what we're doing that make them more engaging, and how we can do it, how we can take numbers out of word problems and just say, Johnny and Joey went for a walk each day this week. And suddenly kids are like, how far did they walk? And now you got a question that they need answering. So we build it up and we build it up. So as far as the point I was trying to get across today, I hope it's clear that we have the opportunity to create engagement. And I wore this shirt on purpose. Anybody knows what movie this is from? Shall we play a game? Anybody want to drop that into the chat?
Oh, does anybody know?
Anybody know this one?
Drop it in the comments.
And shall we play
a bonus book or something?
Sounds like it's a computer that says, shall we play a game? Come on, what is it? Who is it? Come on, somebody drop it in. I can't read anymore.
Somebody will. No. I don't know it.
I know. Don't make me feel old. It's from War Games, Monica. I love it.
Monica's a winner.
It's from War Games. It's a Matthew Broderick when he was young. But listen to what happens in this thing. He's asked, do you want to play a game? And then he's given a list of games to pick from, and he has the choice. And he starts a process that creates a problem that needs solving in this whole thing, all because he was offered a blank slate of what is this mystery of this computer thing asking me if I want to play a game. It's one of my favorite movies. I love it. And it also shows student engagement at its best. This kid in this movie skips school just so he can hack this system. That's engagement, right? So keep it in mind. And if you have any questions or you want to share a little bit here, that's fine too. But really, that's my hope for our reality, is that we think about what creates powerful thinking and powerful moments of engagement, and we're willing to test it out, try it out, and see what happens.
I love it. I think it's so powerful and just great teaching. It doesn't really matter. Yeah. Dave says, if you love this, you're going to love instant relevance. I couldn't agree more. This is covering up our faces. It's such a long link here, but do go check that link. It's also above or below this video, depending on where you're watching. But I do think I'm sending this to my math friends right now, this website. Good deal, Kristen. Thank you for sharing. But remember, we can create these opportunities no matter what subject area we teach, just as Nick was talking about earlier. Let me go back to her comment so we can put it up there. But she says that she starts her day with an open-ended question every single day with her kids. And I think they're like grade 1 or 2. She's like in the lower grade levels. But I think that's so like you said, gonna take a walk. Well, how far are you gonna walk? Well, I'm
Mhm.
gonna walk 2 miles. Okay, well, how much is that in meters? Then you get to like asking all these questions. Before you know it, they are relating to their world, but
Mhm.
also you're teaching those high stake standards at the same time.
Yeah.
And they don't even realize they're doing math because it's so fun. And they're trying to solve a mystery, right? And so I think that's what it is for us as teachers. We just have to, it's hard to do when you're so busy. I get it. And a lot on your plate right now. It's easy to probably get to the place where you're just turning the page and teaching because you're just like, okay, I'm on autopilot. This is the best I can do right now. But I think a lot of times if we could just give up some of that control and we open it up for the kids, we
Mhm.
probably, one, they're going to be more engaged, which means that they're going to learn the concepts a little quicker. And then they're going to walk away from that still thinking about it, talking about your lesson. And that's just like, that's when
And
it's
you just mentioned a word that's an interesting word in education, and it's control.
Mhm.
And like relinquishing control is interesting because if you think about it, there's two things that we control or that you see in control in classrooms, and it's behavior and learning. And if you're not careful, all you're going to do is spend your time trying to control kids' behaviors. And a compliant classroom is one that's behavior controlled. But you can release some of your control over their behaviors and open up the door to their learning with allowing this conversation and this excitement. And suddenly you're in control of their actual learning, which is really our job, versus being in control of just their behaviors.
Yes.
And that's a powerful differential between thinking about our role as teachers and facilitators of student learning. And when students ask their own questions, they want to answer them 100 times more than when they ask one of mine. And if
Oh,
you just say this story about Johnny and Joey walking to the store every day, and they come up with how far, how long did it take? I live near the store. What did they buy? I bought cookies. Annika, you're teaching first grade. These are the questions we get. It's not about how far. It's what cookies did they buy. But
exactly.
it's all portable over into having them ask questions that just develop understanding. And I've seen this actually painted on a lot of teachers' walls, which is I can explain it to you, but I can't understand it for you.
Mhm.
The truth really is that understanding comes from problem solving, struggle, personal initiative, personal misunderstanding, failure, learning, correcting. I could tell it to you all you want, but that doesn't mean you're going to understand it. You might even be able to do it, but you still don't understand it. And so
Right.
the more you put into their hands, the more control you are of their learning. And maybe it is less control of the environment, but I'd rather be in that environment if I was both of them.
No, I think it could actually work. Oh, I think it works in your advantage because then they are excited about the learning, so their behaviors are probably not as bad. Like, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? They're not at least misbehaving. They might
They're
be
not
loud,
misbehaving. Yeah,
but
they're actively behaving, but they're not
yeah,
misbehaving. That's all I need. Yeah.
right. Yeah, love it. I'm excited about this idea. And if you're already doing this, like type some ways that you do offer this choice, this mystery in your
Mhm.
classroom. What do you do? What are some of the things, the activities that you do? Let's share with each other. And also let's continue the conversation over on Twitter and
Mhm.
social media. Let us know as you are going through your day. You're like, hey, I did that the other day, and this is what I did. Tell us about it. We love it. But Dennis, I know they're going to want to connect with you.
Mhm.
So let's go ahead and do that, and then I'll share the prop. The prop. I almost told you the hook of the week. I'll share the hook of the week. But first, let's let Dennis share how they can connect with him if they start trying some of
Right.
these
And
attributes of an engaged student in their
right, and
classroom.
that's it. It's attribute thinking. Like if you find a way to use something else that you're like, I notice kids really love this, and then I realize that these are the reasons why, and you share that, like this cat behind me, then like share that. I'd love to learn from that as well. So you can connect with me on Twitter or Instagram in front of you at MathDennisNJ. Or you can visit my website, which is just DenisSheeran.com, and my name is probably on the screen somewhere.
Yes.
And you can connect with me there. I work with schools and I travel all over to be a part of having this conversation with you in person now that we're allowed to, and I'm so happy. So reach out to me there if you'd like to connect in some way or try to have me come be a part of your learning experience. But I mean, if you just, Google me and find me, I'm happy to talk and share time together. And if you happen to be in the New Jersey area, there's no reason to not try to find a way to get together and talk, and just be a part of our learning environment together. So that's how you can find me, and join me and share with me. And I am the first person to tell you that I've got a lot to learn, and you've got a lot of experience, and I love hearing from you. So please don't hold back. Love that.
Love that. Okay, let me get my share screen. I was trying to do that while you were talking. Keep talking. Just kidding. Oh, I took him off the screen. Okay, we need to keep Dennis up there. Hang on. Let me get our picture up here so we can see. Today would be nice. Tomorrow, it's too late. The problem is I have like 30,000 screens open and it can't find the one that I need. It's okay. We're just going to share my whole entire screen. I was trying to do the window thing, but that's not going to work.
I can't do
that. All right. Yeah. Let's go. Well, we are not going to be able to share screen today. It's just not going to do it. So I will tell you about this hook of the week, and we will not have a little picture, but it's okay. You're going to see it on social media also with the blog link that I forgot to send out yesterday. It's totally ready. The hook of the week is the people prop hook. And so Dave, you can chime in here. These all come from Teach Like a Pirate, but this is a fun hook. And it's just the question I'd love for you to ponder is just to think about, how can I make my lesson play big? In quotes, that's what he says, play big, by using students as props, inanimate objects, or concepts. So if you're thinking of a way that you could use the people prop hook, I want you to drop it over in the comments because it goes right along with our topic today of engagement. And I want you to think about, how could you potentially use the people prop hook? Dave says he's never heard of this one. Bro, it's on page 92 of your book. Just let you know. Yes, how could you use the people prop hook in your setting? I'm even thinking about some of the things Dennis shared with us tonight. I mean, even thinking about a math problem, could you use the people prop hook? Well, of course you could. Didn't that have the same guy? I love it. I'm about to have a puppy. That's just totally off topic. But we do the people. Yeah, Monica, don't you teach? I think Monica teaches preschool. So I can see where the people prop hook would totally work in preschool. But I'm wondering about like in the high school levels. What about, Krista, what about you in science? How can you use the people prop hook as inanimate objects or as concepts? Like, think about this. I would love it if you try some of these. Oh, she teaches kindergarten. I was close. It's hard for me to keep them all straight, but I know some of you guys. How could you use this hook to engage your learners, to really get them excited? I mean, they don't know if they're going to be the next people prop up there, so they got to pay attention, right? And so think about that, maybe as a graph, as a chart, if we're thinking about math, maybe as an equation. I mean, even when we were talking about those triangles, the squares, the different things, like we could think about that as well. But also, I would love if you tried it, to be sure and share it out on Twitter, tag us, hashtag hook of the week, use at Burgess Dave, and also tag at DBC_Inc. We love seeing all of you using the hooks of the week. It has been so fun to watch them every single week. You guys are killing it out there. And Dave says in history, he gives them all events, and then they have to order themselves into a timeline, for example. Perfect. It gets them up and moving. They have to figure it out. They have to communicate with each other. I mean, if you just walk in and then you get handed something, we're like, okay, you're going to use this later. And they have no idea. And then later you have them line up at the front of the class. It's just a perfect idea. Yeah.
The same thing goes for math. A lot of the time we have kids at younger ages comparing numbers, especially third grade, comparing fractions for the first time. Ooh. And instead of just looking at fractions, folding pieces of paper with the manipulatives that they're using, if we give them those fraction cards, like you said, when you walk in and the kid has one that says 1/2 on it, we have those kids line up. But that requires that they talk, and it requires that they say, not just like with history, it's great with the timeline because they can say, well, I'm before you, but it requires that they really start thinking about what it means for 1/3 to be bigger than 1/4 and where they should be standing. And it's a real good conversation for them. We do this with clotheslines as well, but it's great to do with the kids because they have to talk to the people around them and they can see both left and right. So even just that lineup process or that grouping process where we put kids in different areas and say, now that you're there, describe what you see. Now, so they're a part of it. Physical activity is powerful, especially when it creates a learning moment that sticks to that content. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I like the shoe graph too, like in the lower grades. Gets a little smelly, but it's still fun.
They're taking their shoes off anyway. They have no rules anymore thanks to the pandemic. They come into school, their
Exactly.
shoes are off, they're looking for their cat, they're eating snacks, they're going to the bathroom, whether there's a
Exactly.
bathroom nearby or not, I don't even know.
Exactly. Well, this has been an incredible conversation. I love all the ideas around engagement. Keep in mind, let's try to implement these attributes in our classroom. If you're looking for a hook this week, the people prop hook might be the one for you. If you're looking for a different one, well, there's one for every single week that's already passed in 2022. Go look at that at Dave Burgess Consulting. .com. You can't go wrong there. There's plenty of them. They all come straight out of Teach Like a Pirate. So thank you again, Dennis, for joining us tonight. I really loved all that you had to share with us. Those graphics were just incredible. And I'm so excited about seeing some more engagement in all of these awesome teachers. Remember, you do have tonight to watch this on the playback. We usually don't choose our winners till the weekend. So we know that a lot of you are putting your babies to bed and getting ready for the next day. And we understand that as well. So we want you to have an opportunity to win that book. And yes, there you go. Awesome, Melanie. Well, thank you again for joining us, Dennis. We really enjoyed having you tonight.
Thanks. I appreciate it. If you do win the book, feel free to connect with me. I'd love to hear your thoughts and your ideas that maybe are generated from it. And if you didn't win the book and you have it or get it, I still want to hear your thoughts because I love reading and hearing what people think when they read my words, because you guys take these things in such different directions. And I might have been thinking, I'm like, wow, I want to go in that direction now. So again, Tara, thanks for giving me a chance to share my voice from my quiet room in my house where maybe none of the rest of my family would have been listening anyway. So it's been great. And I look forward to connecting with everybody here tonight.
Yes. Thanks, everyone. We'll see you next week. Same place, same time, different guest. And we always appreciate you that join us live. So thanks again. Bye, everyone.
Bye.